This is gonna be an awesome recap because on this day I went from being red $3,500 within the first 2 minutes of market open to being green $3,500 within the first 20 minutes of market open. In this video I will be doing a complete breakdown of the game plan I was watching heading into this day, my entries and exits, and the technical analysis of the stock I was watching, so make sure that you guys watch this video till the end. On this day, I was watching two stocks, Tesla and Netflix, along with the SPX index. These both the stocks were because of earnings, because Netflix reported earnings the prior day and it gapped down and had a very nice push towards the downside. The following day, on Thursday this week, I was watching Netflix for a continuation move towards the downside if we get under $210 or $215 level. The yesterday's low was approximately $213, so I was watching for a break of yesterday's low and a continuation towards $205 or $200 level. The second stock I was watching for the day is Tesla, because Tesla reported earnings the prior day after market close and they beat the earnings, they beat the EPS estimate 3.22 versus 2.26 estimate, and on the sales side they beat the sales estimate as well by approximately $1 billion. And if you focus on the Q1 total delivery numbers, they are up 68% year over year, so overall they reported really good earnings, and we could see the reaction of this earning news in the pre-market as well the following day. The following day Tesla was gapping up, it made a pre-market high of around $1,080 level, so I was watching a hold of a level like 1060 or 1050 for the break or pre-market high at the open. And we will also take a look at the pre-market action of Tesla, and you will be able to see that Tesla was holding around $1,065 level in the pre-market as support. I discussed this exact game plan in the pre-market webinar that we have every single market open day for our Discord group. So if you guys want to be part of a Discord group and be part of a community of serious and supportive traders, you can join our Discord group, and now is the perfect time because we have the Easter sale going on, which will be ending soon in the next few days. The link to join our Discord group along with the coupon code will be in the description box below. Here's the pre-market action of Tesla from 21st of April 2022, and you can see before the market opened from around 4 AM to around 8:30 AM, Tesla was holding this $1,050 and $1,052 level as resistance. About 1 hour before the market opens, we saw a crazy rally on Tesla. It broke $1,052 with an increase in volume, and it made a pre-market high of around $1,081 without giving any consolidation. We had a very nice push on this stock heading into the market open, and after this push towards the upside, Tesla was holding this $1,065 to around $1,064 level right here. Tesla was holding this zone as support after that recent push in the pre-market itself. And if we zoom in a bit further, we can see that Tesla was bouncing off this $1,065 and $1,068 zone in the pre-market, and that is the exact play I was watching for the market open. If Tesla pulls back to around $1,065 and $1,066, we might see a hold of a level and for the push of the break or pre-market high. The pre-market high is the bold dotted line here, and that was my game plan heading into the market open on this stock. Let's now take a look at my first trade on this stock. My first trade, the entry was right at 9:30 AM, right around the market open. When I saw that Tesla dipped to around $1,065 level, we can see a very good bounce at 9:30 AM. Right here, Tesla found this level as support, and this exact level was holding as support in the pre-market as well. I entered my calls position when I saw the hold of 1066 around the break of 1068 towards the upside. I entered my position here, and when Tesla failed to break the pre-market high, I covered my position on this candle, losing around $3,500 on this trade. I will post a screenshot of my entries and exits at the top so you guys can see that I entered on this candle right here around 1068 and I exited when Tesla broke 1065 towards the downside. That means I was only risking around $3 or $2 on the underlying asset, but I lost a lot of money on this trade, and the reason is IV. Because when you are trading just after the earnings and when you are trading options, the IV of that stock within the first 5 to 10 minutes usually goes down, and if the IV goes down, the premiums also lose a lot of value. I knew that the IV on Tesla within the market open is very high, so the IV will go down. I knew that already, but I still decided to take this position. I was having a bit of FOMO and I had to pay for my mistake by going down around $3,500 within the first 2 minutes of market open. After facing that huge loss right at the market open, I saw that at 9:33 AM candle, the volume is not that high, because after the earnings we had a push towards the downside. The volume was high but not very high, but on the next minute Tesla was failing to make a new low of the day right here with low volume. When I noticed that the volume is low when Tesla is going towards the downside, also when it made a new 1 minute high right here, it reclaimed the VWAP and the $1,067 and $1,068 level. I placed my order again to get filled. I got filled 20 contracts. I was trading 1100 calls, same week expiry expiry contracts and my fill price was 7.00 on this trade. Now yes, I sized up on this trade. I took 20 contracts, but if you guys look at the total amount invested, the dollar amount, I invested around $14,000 on this trade and around $12,000 on my first trade, which is approximately my usual position sizing. If you guys have seen my previous recaps, you guys know that I invest anywhere between $5,000 to $20,000 depending on my confidence on one single trade. That's why on this trade I took 20 contracts, and the other reason is that IV was consolidating between 60 to 62%. Right before the market opened, the IV on Tesla was more than 100%. When I entered my position, my first trade, the IV was around 73%. It dropped down to 60%, and for the next 2 minutes, around 9:32 to 9:34 a.m., IV was consolidating between 60 to 62%, and that is the other reason I sized up on this trade. I will post a screenshot of my entries and exits right at the top, but you guys can see that I entered my position at 9:34 a.m. candle. My fill price was 7.00. On the same minute, the premiums went from 7.00 to a high of around 8.80 on the same minute itself. That's why I took 5 contracts out at a fill price of 8.80. Then we saw a bit of a consolidation. Tesla was holding above VWAP, so no reason for me to take my another partial. So I actually waited for the break of pre-market high. After the break of pre-market high at 9:36 a.m. candle, I took another 5 contracts out at a fill price of 11.00. So you guys can see here on this trade, I had a very good entry and I'm just deciding to hold on to my winner. And after the break of pre-market high, we saw a crazy move towards the upside. I took another 5 contracts out. I was still left with 10 of my contracts, but when we saw the break of 1075 on this candle towards the downside, I covered the remaining 10 contracts at a fill price of around 9.20. On this trade, in total, I made around $5,000, putting me green for the day, and my total investment on this trade was around $14,000. That means the return on investment was more than 35%, which is amazing. Let's now take a look at my next trade on Tesla, my third and the final trade for the day. That was at 9:46 a.m. candle. When Tesla had a very nice push towards the upside, it had another push towards the upside. It was kind of making a triangle right here. I was just looking for a pullback entry. When I saw that Tesla pulled back to $1,080 level, which is approximately the pre-market high, we had a dip under $1,080 level, but the tape was looking very strong. I placed my order to get filled right here on the wick of this candle, and my fill price was 9.67. I'm trading the same 1100 calls, 20 contracts. On this trade, my stop loss is very small. If we break 1080 and if we hold under 1080, I would have exited my position. I was expecting to lose around $1,000 on this trade, or maybe even $700 to $800, because my entry was right here on the wick of this candle. If we make a new 1 minute low, I would have exited my position, and that's the benefit of learning to read the tape in level 2, because that will help you to score perfect entries like this one. For this trade as well, I will post a screenshot of my fills right at the top. My entry was right here. I took my first partial at 9:48 a.m. candle right here when Tesla was rejecting 1085. Just to be on the safer side and just to be green on this trade, I took 10 contracts out at a fill price of 10.70. And that is the benefit of reading the tape again, because my entry was on the pullback. Even if the stock moves around $4 to $5 in my favor, my entry was around 1080. I took my first profit at 1085. That is still an amazing risk to reward trade. After taking 10 contracts out at 9:48 a.m. candle, I was very confident with this trade because I won't let this trade go against me, and that's why I took another 3 contracts out at 9:51 a.m. candle when Tesla broke this pivot level right here. I took 3 contracts out at a fill price of 12.07, and when Tesla failed to continue towards the upside, when we saw this rejection at 9:52 a.m. candle, I covered the remaining 7 contracts with a fill price of around 10.00, overall making around $2,000 on this trade by only risking around $700 to $800. That is approximately 2.5 or 3 hour trade. When everything was said and done, let's now take a look at my PNL. My first entry was at 9:30 a.m. and my last exit was at 9:52 a.m. candle. Overall, I made around $3,700 by only trading the first 22 minutes of market open, which is an amazing day for me personally. Now, yes, I did mess up on my first trade on Tesla, but the entries and exits were not that bad. My entry was around 1067, my exit was around 1067 or 1068. If you look at the entries and exits and the trade idea was valid, the entries and exits were good, but I lost that much amount of money because of IV. That was my mistake. I had FOMO on this trade and I failed to factor in IV drop right at the market open after earnings. Now with experience, you get better at dealing with your mistakes. When I looked at that trade, I knew that I lost money because of the IV and not because of the trade idea. You need to know how to forgive yourself after making such a mistake in trading, because it's pretty common to make these kind of mistakes. I was able able to forgive myself. I took another trade with very good trade idea and very good entries and exits, putting me green for the day, and my third trade was also good. All my 3 trades on this day were really good with really good entries and exits, but my first trade was a big red trade, unfortunately, because when you are an options trader, yes, you need to be right about the direction of a stock, but you also need to factor in components like IV. If you guys want to avoid mistakes like these in trading, you guys need to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and hit the bell notifications because it helps out the channel a lot to reach new traders out there. And you guys are also late to the party because I already posted about this day on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure that you follow me there. The link will be in the description box below. I post a lot about my green days, my red days, and my life outside of trading on Instagram. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay green.